Hey everyone, Nick from NicksplosionFX here, and I'm joined with Jason Aaron, one of the writers of the new Star Wars comic. So there have been several Star Wars comics since the end of Return of the Jedi. What makes this one special?
For starters, it's Marvel's first Star Wars comic in a couple of decades. You know, Marvel did the original Star Wars comic book series. It actually started before the movie came out. And then the Dark Horse did about 25 years worth of Star Wars comics. Now that's back at Marvel. It's the first new Star Wars thing of 2015, which of course is going to be the year of Star Wars as everything builds towards the new movie. And it's the first comic series of a brand new canon. So kind of all the ancillary stuff that had come before in terms of comics and books and video games has all kind of been retired, and now everything from here on out is part of the same canon as the movies. So when you read this new Star Wars series and the beats that happen in that, involving all your favorite characters like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, those beats happen just like as if you'd seen them on the big screen in the movie.
Okay, so for the people who might not know, explain to them a little bit about the storyline or the timeline of this comic.
We can probably safely assume most people are familiar with Star Wars. So as long as you've seen that original movie, that's all you need to know. I mean, this picks up literally a couple of days, a week or so, right after the end of Star Wars, Episode 4, New Hope. So right after the Death Star was blown up, we pick up with, like I said, all your favorite old characters. So Luke and Leia and Han and everybody just on another adventure.
And what has sort of fan and critic reaction been to this new comic?
Pretty amazing. The reviews are great so far. Fans seem to really dig it. I think it's a book that can appeal to people who've been reading Star Wars comics for 30 years and people who've never read a single one. I think, again, as long as you've seen one movie that's, arguably the biggest movie ever made, you can pick up this comic and understand everything.
So I'm sure as the Star Wars super fan that you are, what does it mean to you to be involved in a project like this?
Of course it's surreal. I've been writing for Marvel for a while, so I've kind of gotten used to being able to write my favorite characters like Spider-Man and Hulk and that sort of stuff. But then transitioning over to the Star Wars universe is a whole different ball of wax. So it's not something I ever imagined I would get a crack at. So it rekindles that love of Star Wars that I developed as a kid growing up. I was a perfect age to grow up with Star Wars. So when I sat down to write this book, it was like I was that same little kid again.
So other than, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and R2-D2, are we going to see any other cameos from popular Star Wars characters throughout the series? Yes, of course. I mean, that'll be the main cast of the book going forward. It's very much a team book about the cast of the original movie. But yes, we'll see other characters popping up. Even within this first arc, we see a couple of major appearances by Star Wars characters from other films. So I don't know how much you can divulge, but one of my personal favorite characters from Star Wars is Boba Fett, who doesn't get a whole lot of screen time. Are we going to see a larger presence of him in this comic?
Well, I think everybody loves Boba Fett, so, in doing this new Marvel series, it's kind of Marvel's trademark to go for the big beats, right? We want to grab the big characters and kind of smash them together. So I would say chances are pretty good you'll see some Boba Fett before too long.
That's what I like to hear. All right, well, thanks for talking to me. Comment below, and I'm going to pick 2 lucky people at random to send an autographed Star Wars comic by Jason Aaron.